Hi everybody, I'm Pam. I'm an alcoholic. I'm playing the part of Anna. She's over in a work conference in Columbus, so I won't give her her lead. I'll give you mine. Um, a typical upbringing. I was born and raised on the dark side down the road here, um, otherwise known as Dark County, uh, and never drank a drop until I went to college. And at that point, right away, I knew I was in trouble looking back on it because I drank people that had just gotten out of the military under the table the second time I drank. So, and it was all like Donkey Kong after that. I was your typical binge drinker. I not drink for a week or more, and then go out with friends after class or whatever and have a beer, and then in a few days I was having blackouts. Um, my first blackout was New Year's Eve between 1983 and 1984. I one minute we were talking about a weird B movie, and the next thing I know, I'm coming to, and um, I was sitting in the student lounge down at Edison State, and friends that were at the party came in and said, "My God, you lived." I said, "What did I do?" And they're like, "You don't want to know." Um, so that behavior went on for a long time, and until I decided to go to seminary and become a minister. Um, and I dried myself out that first year. Um, didn't drink at all, and um, kept saying that I was an alcoholic, and I didn't really have. I'm going to bounce a lot. Um, uh, I never had any legal consequences for my drinking, but I did have spiritual consequences for my drinking, in that I truly lost myself and how to cope with life. Um, I during that period, a friend of mine that was in the program, and this was all taking place in Massachusetts. Um, I finally talked to her because I was sitting in my sister-in-law's bar, drinking an O'Doul's, thinking how much I missed drinking beer in a bar. And then the light came in and said, "Social drinkers don't miss drinking." Um, so when I got back to graduate seminary, I called her up and asked her if I could go to a meeting with her. So my very first meeting as a person who was ready to admit they were alcoholic came at Quincy, Massachusetts, at the Take a Chance meeting. And um, those meetings out there are an hour and a half long, and there's a raffle in the middle. Um, so then I found my home group down there not far from the school where I was going, and got active right away. They said, "Go, you're making coffee." And I said, "Okay." Now these are hardcore East Coast recovering alcoholics. The one thing I could not do was mess up the coffee. Um, so I did that for a year or longer, and got a sponsor right away. And there at my home group there, I was incredibly blessed. Some of the professors I had in seminary were also in the program, so they came uh, back to the school to pick me up to take me to meetings around the area. So I was immersed early on in the recovery community, and at one point, 3.5 years into a 4-year term in seminary, I was asked to leave, not because of any drinking behavior, but because I didn't pass the final test, and they wouldn't let me take it again. So I came back here to Ohio and started getting back involved in the meetings down here. And at first I was really arrogant. It's like, this isn't the way you run an AA meeting. Bah, 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 bah. Because I did East Coast style. And it just got real arrogant and real stupid because before seminary, I was studying to be an alcoholism counselor. So I knew what I was doing. Had all the answers, knew what it was doing to my body, knew what it was doing to my brain. I could control it, I thought. So I decided, 3 or 4 years into not getting my ego checked at the door, I decided to start drinking non-alcoholic beer. Just because I wanted the taste of beer. I liked the taste of beer from the get-go. Anyway, I did that for off and on, and still going to meetings, still claiming sobriety until 2006. And was talking in one of the meetings, and I was talking about drinking non-alcoholic beer, and then the light came on again and said those are relapses. Yeah. So I hadn't been sober all that time. I had even been dry all that time. I struggled with that and kept in and out and not drinking alcohol, drinking non-alcoholic beer. Because what I crave, that's what I crave. And would tell clients when I was working in inpatient treatment centers that non-alcoholic beer is not a good idea. Right. Meanwhile, yeah, popping up bush NA here and there, and I lost everything in sobriety. I lost my house, left my job on my own volition, started, lived in my sister's house because I couldn't afford rent anywhere, but she had an empty house that I could live in. And started going back to the Thursday night meeting in Greenville. And still wasn't getting it. Still wasn't getting it. So, and still drinking non-alcoholic beer. Through all of it. And not being honest with myself and those around me because I was still claiming sobriety, getting like 5-year, 10-year tokens. Not sober at all. And at one point, I took a complete sabbatical from the program around 2011 or so. And just hung out with my friends at the Eagles over in Union City, drinking Cokes and Shirley Temples, literally, and once in a while, non-alcoholic beer, thinking, no, I can't drink, no. And then one day, they were all toasted, and you know how much liquid's on the drop end of a coffee stirrer, right? That one little drop. Well, I had that much of God knows what, um, some kind of whiskey, in my and my brain felt it right away. It was like that one drop, and it was like, "Hello, darling." Um, not, and it dawned on me then, several weeks later, when I was talking to my alcoholism counselor and told her, and then she happened to call my sponsor, who I still have today, and she said, "Well, you know, you need to start over." And I was like, "Oh, that's 12 years ago." I have not had a drink or a drug since. I that "hello, darling" moment forced me to look at my drinking behaviors, gave me um, the incentive to take this program seriously and really work the program. I I bless, thank God every day that I had that relapse. Didn't drink anything the rest of the night because I didn't think it was a relapse. I didn't think it was a big deal. And that's a total God thing, because I don't know about you alcoholics, but this alcoholic, if I had a case of "I'm already done, who cares," I probably would have drank God knows what. Um, but I didn't drink anything else that night. And 3 weeks later, it was like, oh, crap. So I have been in the rooms since then, active as I could be, homeless, couch surfing, um, living in community housing, just whatever I could do to stay sober. And um, Walmart is a good place to go when you don't need to think, as far as working there, because there's very little brain power involved working there. And I worked there for 4 or 5 years, in between uh, that moment in 2011 or 12 and 2004, um, and then got involved in some unhealthy relationships. Um, and finally, at that November 2nd, 2012 is my sobriety date, and I felt that peace finally. And after my mom passed away during COVID, my brother's cleaning out his house, and he found my very first 30-day token. Um, this token's older than some of y'all, but I hold on to it very preciously, because this reminds me of where I was and it how how hard it was to get this first 30 days back then, let alone after I got sober again. And what it's like now. In 2004, no, 2000 and, let's see, 8, hold on, I got to do math, it's scary. um, I've been married now for 8 years, and in that time, I that's the blessing that this program brought me, was the ability to meet the person I was supposed to be with, and she is amazing. Um, and has Alzheimer's now. But if it hadn't been for this program, I'd have been nuts, because it gave me the tools, and that she can use as well, to cope with this. Because it's all a day at a time. It's all living for the day. It is what it is. It's all about acceptance. We don't like it, but acceptance doesn't have anything to do with liking it. Earlier this last year, I got COVID, and the long-term effects of that for me was congestive heart failure. Um, but now, thank you, Lord, um, my heart's good. I'm doing the things. I actually follow directions um, now. And um, Anna, my Anna helped guide me through the early days of coming back into the rooms on a serious basis, and um, helping me through that period after my mom passed away. Honestly, I got closer to drinking then than I ever have, and I ever want to be again. So, and the one thing I wish I'd have done differently during all of that was, I wish I would have gone to more meetings instead of fewer. And I just shut completely down. Stayed sober, but kept hitting Zoom meetings, and kept talking to Anna, and she was scared, I was scared. It was not a fun time. And as I have gone on, I found out some things about my relationship with my parents that wasn't, both of my parents are gone. Um, there's some freedom in that. Um, my relationship with them was not healthy. And now that they're out of my life permanently, I have been able to work more on myself. And it has made my sobriety only stronger, my marriage only stronger, and just, if you're new, this program is a blessing. You have to work it, obviously. You have, I had to, I had to work it in a different way than I ever had before, and I had to um, understand that I don't have all the answers, that I don't know everything on the flippin' earth, um, and to keep my ego in check, because without that, I'd have been an arrogant little whatever. Um, and this the steps in this program have brought me many blessings and much understanding of how to live with being on the spectrum. Didn't know until I was in my mid-50s. Um, and all the things that gets unpacked with that. And understanding that, when I got my diagnosis, my diseased brain was like, so that's what your problem was. You're not an alcoholic. You have autism. You can drink again. I called Anna um, and told her what was going on. So I spent a long time on the phone with her. And she told me to do some things, and I did them. Um, because that's my brain, that's my disease messing with me. Um, and it finds very, like it says in the how it works. This disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It will find every way under the sun to try to get you to drink again. And certainly here in the last 12 weeks or so, it has tried. And I have, again, relied on my support system in these rooms, staying as active as possible and getting as much knowledge as I can still on how Sue's disease will affect her and how it could affect me, and just to make sure that I stay active in the rooms to make sure that I don't become another victim to Alzheimer's. I'm just, I'm blessed to be here today. Anna told me at the mini conference last weekend, I forgot, I promised Gary I'd give the lead of a Coldwater Friday. Can you do it? Yes. No matter what your sponsor asks you, you say yes. Uh, so, as far as my experience, strength, and hope, it has been a strange and wonderful journey. I have been blessed to been places, met people, seen things that I would not have ordinarily been able to uh, participate in. And as I become more active in AA as a whole, I have no doubts that my recovery will be as strong or stronger than it ever has been. And I'm just thankful for my recovery, thankful that I was able to come up here and do this, share my story. And I think I'll pass with that. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story, Pam. So a couple of things that stuck out to me in the very beginning, and it's a saying I hear in the rooms a lot. It doesn't matter how much you drink, what you drink, it's what happens when you drink. And so that in the beginning of your story stood out to me right away. The second thing was you said that you've never been in like legal troubles, but spiritually, and you lost yourself. Well, I mean, I've had legal problems too, but that's not what brought me here, like to the rooms this time. It was, that feeling of losing yourself. So that really, really stuck out to me. And like lately, I've been going through some like really, really bad mental health problems, and it's crazy, like how you talked about you got to work the program. The difference it made for me doing that, like I got back into the book, I changed some stuff, going to meetings, doing counseling, all this stuff, and really, really working the program, getting back in the book, studying, underlining, doing everything that I can do. And it's amazing the difference that makes. So, I know that this program works, and I know that it helps a lot of people, and I'm just extremely grateful for your lead, and thank you for coming out. I'm going to open up the floor with that.
Thanks, Miranda.
Jim Alcoholic.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
I've known you for a few 24 hours, man. Just the first time I ever heard you. You talk about that deer beard. So many people get screwed up. I think it's arthritic disease. That deer beard never left me. And I just taught my word honesty. That's what we got to learn, to be honest in this program. And every day I wake up to my disease. Like he said, it's cunning, deaf, and powerful, and it's patient. It sits back and waits. They have a good sponsor. We're going to miss her when she's finished, because she's good in this area. Just do what we got to do. Thank you for being my friend.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gary.
Gary.
Jim Alcoholic.
Hey, Jeff.
Pam, thanks so much for making the drive up in time.
telling your story. It's nice to get to know you through your words, and yeah, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, Tom.
I got your lead. I'm glad I was here. And that near beer has got 0.10 alcohol in it. So I mean, you're drinking beer, and alcohol. But yeah, I went through that too at first. But I'm glad you made it through.
Thanks, Tom.
Mike alcoholic.
Mike.
First thing to say is, I have a family member that's with Alzheimer's. It's not easy. I feel for you. But it was an awesome lead. I've learned a lot about you. I never had that idea about near beer because I drank it when I was active, and I didn't like it. But I've heard the nightmares of people doing it. Anything that's there, it scares me. I've worked too hard to do this. It's getting easier, but it's never easy. But I love listening to leads that I've never heard before, and learning about people, different journeys. As I've shared with a lot of these, I love this program, I love these people. I don't have to do this alone anymore. And that's what I gotta remember. I always get my phone out and say, this don't weigh 500 pounds, it weighs 2 ounces. Call somebody. Put your ego in your, right in your back pocket and leave it there, because they'll keep you sober. And you might keep him sober that day too. So, I love what you said tonight. It was great, and glad to be your friend.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Steve, alcoholic.
Yes, Steve.
Thanks for your share, Pam. You mentioned that you lost everything, and alcohol strips you of everything, spiritually, monetarily. And I was so broken. I remember looking in that mirror thinking, is this what my life's going to be like? You know? And I was so broken and felt so useless, and I didn't know how many days I had left, you know, and I didn't know that I really cared. And it was just a real sickening feeling. And what keeps me going in this program is going to the meetings and my fellowship with everybody here, and being able to offer what help I can give other people too. I get a lot out of that. And so the program truly is a blessing in all respects. So again, thanks for your lead.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm Russ, alcoholic.
Hi, Russ.
Pam, hard to believe it's been 9 years now since I first met you. You know, the last time I think I saw you in person was upstairs hospital meeting on Saturday nights before COVID. And I always loved walking those rooms and seeing you and Anna and Ed, and you know, you guys got me through, you know, the first part of my sobriety. And it was always, you always had such a good attitude when we were up there, and you guys were always laughing. And you showed me that this can be fun. And you know, I knew a little bit about your story that you started telling us there, but I never heard the whole thing. And you know, I appreciate your ability to get up there and share everything, and sharing everything that you've went through. And yeah, my grandmother passed away from Alzheimer's, and it's a disease that it robs a lot of things from you, but it can't take the person away from you. That person's still there, and I'll pray for you, and I'll pray for her, and I'll pop in on a Saturday night now that I know what's going on again. See you guys. Thanks for coming out here and sharing. And another Dark County folk. Nice to see another Dark County folk down here.
Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, Russ.
Hey, Russ.
Kevin, I'm the alcoholic.
Kevin.
And, thanks, Pam. I don't believe I ever heard your lead, or maybe I did one time. I'm not exactly sure, but, yeah, I can definitely relate, to that, trying to be sober but not. And I was in and out of these rooms for 20 years before I got sober, and, a lot of times I pretended that I was sober, and that didn't work real well for me. And I tell you about my experience with NA beer, I don't have any. And, I never had the desire to drink NA beer, because I knew right from the very beginning it wasn't going to do for me what I wanted it to do. And, so I never took that route, but, I've known people that have, and I've known people that have went back to drinking, and, so for me, I had to just get as far away from anything in that category as I could, and I still do the same thing today. And, but yeah, I'm glad I was here to hear you tonight. Glad that there's another meeting going in Greenville. I hated that they kind of, their meetings fell off for a little bit, but, hopefully in a little time we'll get them going again. And because it's, for me, it's always a good time if you can jump in the car on Saturday night and, you got somewhere to go to a meeting, grab a bite to eat and go to a meeting, Man, that's just, that's what it's all about. And, but thanks for sharing your story, and thanks for being my friend.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks. Any other comments? All right. In closing, we would like to remind you that the opinions expressed here were strictly those of the person who gave them. Take what you like and leave the rest. Also, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of our program. Therefore, who you see here, what you hear here, when you leave here, let it stay here.
How you doing?
How's this circle thing work? I don't know. Where's the hard part?
Pretty cat.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Keep
that back with words of work.
Right.
I have a perfect voice for Sunday. Sue was a little tired. We did a lot of running around today. Let her rest at home. Alzheimer's starts. I'm Pam.
I'm Don.
Good to meet you.
You find it okay?
Huh?
Did you find it okay?
Absolutely.
You better got me one of these.
Mike.
Pam.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Hey, Andrew.
Miranda.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Hi, Andrew.
I'm Derek. Nice to meet you, Pam.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie.
Pam.
Yeah, I remember. I did a video down at Greenville Coldwater, right?
Yes.
He's leaving for some place down North Carolina Sunday, Wednesday.
He moves a lot, doesn't he?
Huh?
He goes a lot of places, doesn't he?
He's taking one of his kids down there to move.
Oh, that's right, yeah,
Remember you said that?
yeah,
They want him to go down,
yeah.
they want him to drive straight through, he said he ain't driving straight through. You get your coffee in there, Tom, today?
Yeah, he brought, he brought 3 containers back.
That's good.
Yeah, we paid $7 a piece for them.
Cheap.
Yeah, I paid him cash. I marked it in, on that paper, and just that. He's got a bunch of stuff in storage. It's a good thing.
Yeah, we bought, I think, 2 or 3 from him. Pretty cheap, $6.
How you doing, chief?
What's that?
Alright,
how you doing?
Not too bad.
Well, he got, this is good stuff, it's $7.
Yeah, 76,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, really good.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Pam.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Oh, boy. So when does that eclipse start?
May the 8th.
Yeah, maybe.
April 8th, starting at what, about 1:15?
No, I thought it was
Okay.
like a 3 to 4. Supposed to be over in an hour or 2.
Yeah, a few hours on TV.
Only depends if the
1:15
clouds
starts
are out.
running. It finally is at 2 or 4:15.
When does the eclipse start in Ohio?
Oh, okay. 'Cause
You
I
should
don't
be
wanna
placed
be
there.
out when it's,
I don't know, he didn't say nothing yet. He said ground shut down.
Most places are, all the schools are letting
there's
out.
crazy people coming
It
out.
begins at 3:08
3:08?
with the final exit of the moon shadow from the state at 3:19.
Oh, that's not very long then.
That's what I said, it ain't gonna be very long.
No, no,
It's
yeah.
gonna be short.
No. Oh, well, I'll go to that meeting. Anyway.
Well, the eclipse, when the meeting's going on.
Huh?
Well, the eclipse, when the meeting's going on.
Yeah, I know. We stopped the meeting
No,
going
you
on.
won't, because it'll,
Hey, Kevin,
it doesn't start till 3:08. Hi, Kevin.
How you doing?
Hi, Kevin.
Ron Price
Andrew?
stopped the meeting to go out and watch a satellite space station go over.
Tom?
That's you on, you know that.
Good.
How
you doing?
Yes, about Columbia.
Doing okay?
All about wild.
What was to be
and all that
expected?
stuff.
Oh, all right.
That'll be pretty interesting.
what, that's gonna be on TV?
You're in the right
Yeah,
place
9 o'clock,
anyway,
don't
right?
That's
watch
right.
PBS station. You should get one of them.
What's up, Kev? Well, how you guys doing?
Alright.
Well, you know, Don?
Not a whole lot. I think we're gonna get a little bit of rain tonight.
Yeah,
So you know Ann from Greenville?
Mhm.
Courtney's sponsor?
She's my sponsor.
She gave a good lead here.
She does give a good lead.
Already next week's Easter weekend.
Do what?
That's already waiting next weekend, Easter weekend.
I know. We got the stuff for the grandkids' Easter baskets, we just haven't put it together yet.
And mom and dad weren't right. The older you get, the faster it goes.
Yeah, I've always said that, it's always just been the way she's talking about it. Over here, faster time goes in.
The other days drag on, the months fly by.
Oh, day flew by.
Isn't that funny, all the good guys on this side, all the bad guys on that side.
Yeah.
That don't bother me no more. I called her the other day, I told her, I said, you want me, you know where I'm at. I said, my bike's gone, you go have to put it out on the radio, look for the bike.
You said you get your license back pretty soon, don't you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I get them back and I'll be done with the bicycle. I'll be on the motorized bike and
Yeah.
I can go wherever I want.
Well, you and Jerry really could ride together.
I rode to Dayton already and back.
Did you?
Yeah.
On
That's
a
a long
bicycle?
run.
Moped.
Moped?
Get 40 mile a gallon, 40 mile a tank on it,
Yeah, you did, yeah.
40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
That's a long
Taking that
time.
Somebody saying those scooters go 20 miles an hour, those scooters that people's got today.
Yeah, you can ride on
On
that
that back would
skateboard.
be 20. All on ass on the bicycle.
My little blue one I used to ride up there, it'd go 12 mile an hour. But it wasn't made, it wasn't made for my size, it was made for a smaller person. Small kids get on it and phew, they're gone. I bought just to have something to ride around on.
I had a friend one time told me he could run 20 miles an hour. I said, I don't believe you. He said, yeah, he said, I can. So I said, we'll find out. So I tied his arm, tied his hand to the damn car nut door. Well, you see, he had short little legs, you know what I'm saying?
Also.
Russ, how you doing?
I run.
Andrew.
Hi.
Thomas.
There.
Well, hi there, stranger.
Hi, I'm Pam.
I know you. I know Pam.
Oh, how you doing? How you doing,
How
Wayne?
you doing? Yep.
Good to see you, Wayne.
See you, Miranda. How we doing?
Good.
How you doing there, Russ?
Doing pretty good, yourself?
Oh, yeah, did you get a copy?
What?
Did you get a copy?
Yeah. Yep, I got her.
You good, how are you? Yes, I do.
She said there's no.
That stuff, there's other stuff.
Sit on the floor.
What was on that?
Big book study.
Okay.
Yeah, big book study. Oh, no, that one, that's Father Leo, that's a whole other Father Leo. And a lot of other stuff, there's a lot of good stuff on that one. No, the one I'm watching now is a bunch of big ones.
How goes
The one I'm watching now is a bunch of big ones.
Oh, okay.
What? It's been a hell of a year. I think it's just a part of it.
How are you?
My wife waits.
Is it like thinking, like depends what it is?
It looks better here.
Yeah, that's diagnosed.
Earlier about 10 something like that.
So was it here? Yeah.
She's on medicine. Yeah. She's still working.
Yeah, said he.
I say you need to
Be pretty tough for
Every night you just lay around.
first week or two.
She's got the same kind of day. Because he had early onset, so. And her mom has it.
Be a shame.
Road rage and a lot of meetings and stuff, so that's how she got it.
They stop running the meetings.
Well, you're in my prayers.
Thank you.
How about your,
Well, some
I can go from
you doing things for
Coldwater
that
to
or?
Slime and less than that.
Yeah, my heart's good. I mean,
But that's better than straight.
my, my heart failure doctor fired me yesterday because I was doing so well. So I didn't have to see my cardiologist again until August or something like that.
I'm thinking doing that to my dad had that. I know.
tell you, he's got clothes,
Yeah.
so he cooks.
I'm a little bit too lazy.
I've been making over 24 years a lot. I did so much with
I guess I have to start.
My mom had it, my dad had it, and my mom's mom had it.
Yeah, how you doing, bud?
Nice, yeah. Well, I am gonna walk, I gotta meet their friend Alan tonight. You take care.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Okay, section here.
Only if you're sitting in it.
All right, here too.
Huh?
You told me.
Yeah, we usually live in Florida.
He passed away.
Take that track with you?
Yeah, where do you live? You live in Coldwater?
Yeah.
We can probably do that. It depends on if we have to go get Jill. Sometimes we have to get Jill out in, yeah. Make sure I get your address. Where do you live?
617 West Walnut. Here in Coldwater, so before the hospital.
Try it.
That's his bank called, that week's big test.
You text me your info, you text me
Mike,
your address,
Mike,
your number.
Mike, Auburn got beat by Yale.
I don't text that.
Auburn got beat by Yale. Colorado beat Florida. Only one SEC team has won so far.
How you doing?
Look good for Purdue.
Oh,
I like to see Purdue win. Oh, yes. Hey, Lee, man, I'm rooting for the big time, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm rooting for Arizona because I'm got them out.
I do too.
44.
I like your big guy.
They're gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, help yourself.
You gotta think you gotta.
Get everybody.
From, Michigan.
I don't do it right
Tomorrow.
Mine feels close, it's shortly after.
Oh, mine, already. I think I lost 6 games yesterday.
I'll call you later.
I do one on ESPN. I do one on ESPN for the women. The women I normally do pretty good on.
I told Steve.
But that one, you pretty much just pick all the high seeds. Dayton won yesterday, they play Arizona tomorrow.
Please get on the app.
They were down by 17. They were down by 17. And, ran off a 24-4 run to finish the game.
Y'all be there in the morning?
It's on the.
Do you want to go?
I have a
Portland
the president of
Do
the
you want to go
Red
to
Sox
Portland
student
tomorrow?
section, Dayton, and he was the president.
Ready, we're scheduled for sure.
Yes, we do.
I have no idea. Very much. The app doesn't really help. The app doesn't really help for phone meetings.
Yeah, we'll call it Miami. That little, you saw up there, that's the order.
Just what?
Just in case you're wondering.
Oh, yeah, I'm not worried.
It's better than ours.
It'll be online later.
I'll cut it.
Oh, I like that baby.
I'm done with Thursday. Well, they already traced it.
Anna.
Pam. Her name.
Pam, I'm sorry, Anna.
Well, how can I take a part of it?
You agreed to, and then,
Yes.
and then,
In the new section.
put your mute on.
Yeah, it's in the new section.
I know where it is.
Last one I called, I dialed the number, and just let the phone ring just roll.
Watch yours, I'll show you. Okay, I'm calling you right now.
Alright. Good evening, everyone. This is a regular meeting of the Coldwater Friday Night Group of Alcoholics Anonymous. We are a lead meeting group. My name is Miranda, and I'm an alcoholic. Here at Coldwater Friday Night, we encourage getting a home group and a sponsor, even if it's only a temporary sponsor. If you're interested, see a home group member after the meeting. Can all home group members please raise your hand? Would all who care to please join me in opening this meeting with a moment of silence for those who are still sick and suffering, followed by the serenity prayer. God,
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I've asked a friend to read the preamble.
I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
This is a preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim.
I've asked a friend to read how it works.
Tom, alcoholic.
Tom.
This is how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail with a story follow our path. Those who do not recover, people cannot or will not completely get themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates, they're not our fault. They seem to be born that way. They are naturally capable of grasping, developing a manner of living with command, rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. If you decide you want what we have and are willing to go anything to get it, then you may take certain steps. Some things we bought. We thought we could find easier, softer way, but we do not. Upon the earnestness of our command, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us try to hold on to old ideas and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power, that one's God. May you find him now. Half measures availeth nothing. Withstood the turning point, we ask his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted God to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Man, I just want to get angry today.
Take a breath, Tommy, keep reading.
6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Work. 7, humbly ask to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we'd harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so with either them or others. 10, continue to take personal inventory and when we were wrong, properly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. Step 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to our hearts and to practice these principles in all our prayers. Many of us exclaim, what an order, I can't go through it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect against these principles. We're not saints. The point is that we're going to grow along spiritual lines. The principles they have set down are guiding progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of agnostic, and our personal examples before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could relieve our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would.
Thanks, Tom. Asked a friend to read the 12 traditions.
Ask me, everybody. I'm Tony Alcoholic.
Hey, Tony.
ABC, number 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. 2, for our group purpose there is but one ultimate authority, a living God, as he may express himself with our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. 3, the only requirement for AA membership is the desire to stop drinking. 4, each group should be anonymous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6, AA. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, led AA name to any related faculty or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7, every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain never non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9, AA as such ought never be organized, but we can create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10, Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11, our public relations policy is based on attractions rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at levels of press, radio, and film. 12, anonymity is a spiritual foundation of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities.
Hey, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. All right, ask a friend to read the promises.
Hello, my name is Mike, and I am an alcoholic.
Hi, Mike.
These are the promises. The spiritual life is not a theory, we have to live it. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our orders. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. There may be some wrongs we never fully right. We don't worry about them if we can be we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter, and there may be a valid reason for postponement in some cases, but we don't delay if it can be avoided. We should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being servile or scraping. As God's people, we stand on our feet. We do not crawl before anyone. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We'll lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We'll intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always be fulfilled as they work together.
Ask a friend to read the daily reflections.
Kevin, March 22nd. No more struggle. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. That comes from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 84. When AA found me, I thought I was in for a struggle, and that AA might provide the strength I needed to beat alcohol. Victorious in that fight, who knows what other battles I could win. I would need to be strong, though. All my previous experiences with life prove that. Today, I do not have to struggle or exert my will. If I take those 12 steps and let my higher power do the real work, my alcohol problem disappears all by itself. My living problems also cease to be struggles. I just have to ask whether acceptance or change is required. It is not my will, but His that needs doing.
Thanks, Kevin. I've asked a friend to read the 24 hours.
Russ, alcoholic.
Yes.
March 22nd, AA thought for the day. We're all looking for the power to overcome drinking. When we alcoholics come into AA, our first question is, how do I get the strength to quit? At first, it seems to us that we will never get the necessary strength. We see older members who have found the power we are looking for, but we don't know the process by which they got it. This necessary strength comes in many ways. Have I found all the strength I need? Meditation for the day. You cannot have a spiritual need which God cannot supply. Your fundamental need is a spiritual need, the need of power to live the good life. The best spiritual supply is received by you when you want it to pass on to other people. You get it largely by giving it away. God gives you strength as you pass it on to another person. That strength means increased health. Increased health means more good work, and more good work means more people helped. And so it goes on. A constant supply to meet all spiritual needs. Prayer for the day. I pray that my every spiritual need will be supplied by God. I pray I may use the power I receive to help others.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Russ.
Russ. We celebrate various lengths of sobriety at this meeting. I've asked Gary to tell us about it.
I'm Gary, I'm an alcoholic.
Gary.
Coldwater, we had a token system. Is anybody here for the first meeting since our last drink? Anybody celebrating 1 month continued sobriety? 1 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 1 year. Do we have any month, anybody celebrating any month of continued sobriety? Thank our higher power for another day.
Alright, we have no dues or fees in AA. We are entirely self-supporting, declining outside contributions. This self-support includes our rent for this room, the coffee and refreshments, and contributions to the district area central office and the general service office. If you have a court slip that needs signed, drop it in the basket and it will be returned to you at the end of the meeting. Alright. For announcements, we have the 49th annual Area 54 mini conference. That is this weekend. It's in Westlake, Ohio. The 42nd annual Northeast Indiana Convention and 79th annual banquet. That's May 10th through the 12th in Fort Wayne. Save the date for the 68th Ohio State Convention. This is August 23rd through the 25th. And it is in Independence, Ohio. And that's all I have. Any announcements from the floor?
I'm Pam, I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Pam.
Just real quick, we have a Wednesday afternoon meeting. It is Wednesday at noon. Lunch meeting, bring your own lunch. It is at 118 South 5th Street, right behind the movie theater. That's all I got. And it's open anyone.
Right behind the movie theater, you wanna,
Wednesdays at what time again?
Wednesday,
What time?
noon.
Noon.
Buying movie theater, you're in
Greenville.
Greenville.
that's right now from Scooter's old place, isn't it?
Huh?
It's right now from Scooter's old place, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just pop down 118.
Thanks,
I'll be
Pam.
running on alcohol.
Hey, Dwayne.
I don't know if anybody's heard or not, but we lost Richard Holman today. Don't know any plans or arrangements or anything yet, but he had stomach bleeding going on, he passed, so just keep him in his family and your prayers.
Thanks, Tony.
I'm Gary, I'm an alcoholic. Brad got out today, so we have triple, or four bypasses. That's all.
Alright, and then Dr. Bob's house is the 27th, meeting at 7:30 at New Bremen's Meeting Place. And then the district meeting is the first Sunday in April, the 7th, at 1:15 at the Jabez house for anyone that's interested in service. And that's it. Okay,
In April or March?
April.
April.
Alright, so this is a lead meeting, and the person that I've asked to give a lead tonight, I've never met or heard her story, so I'm excited. This is, my hour of peace, and I'm excited to get some experience, strength, and hope, and, the leads, you get to know people better, so